In the previous video, we mainly discussed about that such as Virashaiva Vachanas and also be that about related about the Basavannas and Nayanas and Alvas and such as the Supreme God concept we have discussed. So in this class, we are going to discuss about mainly about the saints of the Maharashtra. So from the 13th to 7th century, Maharashtra saw a great number of saint poets whose songs were simple Marathi, it's very important, okay. Apart from the Sanskrit, Sanskrit were difficult to the common people, so this is the saints were the composed songs in the which one simple Marathi, okay, continue to the inspire the people, okay. So the most important among them were Jnaneshwar, Namdev, Eknath and Tukaram, and also be women like Sakubai and the family of Chokamela, who belong to the untouchability Mahar caste. So this is very important. So whatever the saints, whatever the preachers, whatever the reformists, whatever the Vachana contributors, Vachana Sharanas, those were came from the down of the category in the Varna system. Okay, this is the really attractive thing. This regional tradition of the Bhakti focused on the Vittala, a form of Vishnu, Vittala. You know that Vittala. Temple in a Pandarpur, okay, as well as the notion of the personal God resident of the heart of all the people. So in this Bhakti movement, saints of the Maharashtra were preached, were spread about the Bhakti. Focus on your idol. So they all maintain about that which one? Maintain about the Vittala or the Lord Vishnu only. So keep in your heart that one. There is a concept about this one. These saints poets rejects all form of the ritualism. The Vedic system, whatever the Vedic system we have studied, in this whatever the traditional rituals were followed, that they opposed, and outward display of the pity and social differences based on the birth. So this is the stratification, social stratification, discrimination on the basis of the caste or the birth. So this was the against this one. In fact, they even reject the idea of the renunciation and prefer to live with their family, earning their livelihood on any other persons, while humbly and serving to the fellow human beings' need. A new humanist idea emerged in this, and the Bhakti system it is emerged. Okay, the Bhakti is a sharing of others' pain. So if you have a pain, you need to be sharing with others. So we need to be shared with others. That is only Bhakti movement. The famous Gujarati saint, okay, so his name is called as that Narsi Mehta, said they are all Vaishnavas who understand the pain of others. They are Vaishnavas who understand the pain of others. Okay, so who are Vaishnavas? Vaishnavas means those who understand the pain of others. Okay, that is going to be considered. So there is another one Marathi song has been given in a textbook. Refer it that. Okay. So next one is about that Nathpanthis, Siddhas and Yogis. This is very important, dear children. So still we are going to be sees these people. Whatever that, so that we are sadhus, we are going to call this one. Okay, and major. Okay, in the they are staying in the Himalayas and making the different kinds of the yagas. and rituals they are performing that. This is another kind of this one. What is that? Let's focus on this one. A number of religious groups that emerged during the period of this criticizing the rituals and other aspects of the conventional religious and the social order using the simple logical arguments. So they were using the simple and logical arguments. Among them were the Nathapanthis, Siddhacharas, and Yogis. So they were advocated renunciation of the world. To them, the path of salvation means moksha, okay, ultimate destination of this one. So lay in the meditation on the formless, ultimate reality and realism. It's a realization of the oneness with it. To achieve this, so only one have the formless ultimate reality. So they wanted to reveal that, they need to be realize that what it is, that oneness of this one. To achieve this, they advocated intense training of the mind and the body through practices like yogasanas, breathing exercises and meditations. So dear children, understand that why this yoga or meditation, this role, the breathing exercises, they are advertising nowadays that the government is saying that practice yoga, improve your immunity. So this are all that because of their performance, whatever they have succeeded, and that is the implementation presently. These groups became particularly popular among the low caste. See, they consider them also low caste. They criticizes in a conventional religious created by the ground of the devotional religion to become the popular force of in the northern India. In the northern India, they became the more powerful and preaching and teaching, and they were devoted about the particular idol of this one. So they're all busy about the yogasana. They're all busy with breathing exercise. They were busy with the meditation. So these are all about the Nathapanthis, Siddhas and Yogis. Now let's focus on this one. It's not only done this whatever we are studying now, that devotional path to the divine. So that was not done only in Hinduism. It was also be done in the Islam and Sufism. What it is that? Let's focus on. The saints had much common in the Sufis, so much of so that it is believed that they adopted many ideas of each others. Sufis were Muslim mystics. They reject outward religiosity and emphasize love and devotions to go to the God and compassion towards the all fellow human beings. Overall, dear children, overall concept about the devotional path to the divine, it is very simple. There is one God, you just go through him. Okay, don't do such kind of this, and so you just feel it yourself and find the mystical way of this one. Okay, that is only this. Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, everything is saying that only one concept about there. Even the Veerashaivism Basavana started, no, that is also be the same thing. Islam propagated strict monotheism or submission to one God. In the 8th and 9th century, religious scholars developed different aspects of the holy law, Shariat, okay, and theology of Islam. So it was formed in 8th and 9th century. While the religion of the Islam gradually became the more complex, Sufis provides with an additional dimension that favorable to more personal devotions to the God. The Sufis often rejects the elaborated rituals and codes to the behavior demanded by the Muslim religious scholars. They sought union with the God much as a lover seeks in the below of this one. So overall, whatever it's they are saying that, so they're just one God, just trust and go through Him like that. So saint, poets, Sufis to compose the which one? Such as poems and the prose, their expressions, feelings, and everything they have included there. And the fables, they started to add the fables, the stories develop around them. So the great Sufis of the Central Asia were Ghazalia, Rumi, Sadi. So like the Nathapanthis, Siddhas and Yogis, the Sufis too believed that heart can train to look at the whole world in a different way. So if we train the heart, according to them, Yogis, so yogasana, breathing exercise and meditation, that feel some of the different experiences. So from that we see the world in a different way. They developed, even the Sufis also we said the same thing. They developed elaborating the methods of the training using the zikr, the chanting of the names or the sacred formula. So that whatever the sacred name of that, the chanting, and means every time we are going to be pronouncing this one. Contemplations and sama means singing. So rocks, dance and discussion of the parables, breath control, this are all by the saints. They said that Sufism under the guidelines of the master or fir. So the master was considered as that, what is that, fir. So as per this, thus emerged in a, what is that, silsilas, so a spiritual generation of the Sufism teachers. So that's slightly different of the method of the instructional and ritual practice. Okay, so you could see that how they are engaging that with the one heart. They inhale that one God and with His name and with His prayer. So they are dancing, singing and performing the dance, everything they are doing this. So this is one of the mystics. So this one. Okay, so next one is about that. Okay, so here is a picture about that, a page of a manuscript of the Quran, Deccan, late 15th century. So how it is, it's everything. So a large number of Sufis from the Central Asia settled in Hindustan from the 11th century onwards. This process was straightened with the establishment of the Delhi, of the Delhi Sultanates. Okay, when they came, that in a chapter 3 we have learned on that. So when they come that, so different one by one that the Sufism also be established here. So when the several major Sufis centers develop all over the world, all over the subcontinent. So Chisti Silsila was among the most influenced order. Okay, so it had a long line of the teachers like Khwaja Moinuddin Chisti of Ajmer, Kutubuddin Bakhtiar Kaki of Delhi, Baba Farid of Punjab, Khwaja Nizamuddin Aliya of Delhi, and another one is about that Bhandawaz Gisudaraj of Gulbarga. So Sufis masters held their assemblies in the, it's called as that Khanqahs or auspices. So auspices means, what is that? House of rest for the travelers, especially one kept by the religious order, that is called as auspices. So devotees in all the descriptions, not only one thing, in all the descriptions, including the members of the royalty, nobility and ordinary people, folk means gather there to the Concons. So they discuss the spiritual matters and other kinds of this one. So and also be here reveal the other illness and troubles of the peoples in a different manner. And the tomb or dargah of the Sufi saints became the place of the pilgrimage center or the whole thousand of the people in the faith of this one. Okay, dargah, you have heard this one. Okay, so this was existence. So next one, about the new religion development in northern India. So how this it started, let's focus on this. In the period of the 13th century saw the new wave of the Bhakti movement in the northern India. So this was an age of the age when Islam, Brahmanic Hinduism, Sufism, various strands of the Bhakti and other Nathapanths and sadhus, yogis influence one another. So we have seen in the new towns, in the pictures in the lesson number 6, and the kingdoms in a second and third and fourth emerged. So in these places, the people were taking up the new profession and finding the new role of themselves. So before that, they were traditionally dependent on their work, whatever their father and grandfather were dependent on, that work only they continued. But in this modernization, in this other peoples, Arab peoples or European peoples, when they got the contract, so then automatically they are started to engage with this different kinds of the works. So they are started to enroll in the new role of this one. So such people, especially craft persons, peasants and traders and laborers, were formed the new saints and spread their ideas about this one. So in this, like Kabir, Baba, Guru Nanak reject all orthodox religious, whatever it was traditional, that was rejected by them. And here the Tulsidas and Surdas accepted the existing belief and practice, but wanted to make these accessibility to all. So what is Tulsidas? What he said, that Tulsidas conceived of the God in the form of the Rama. Okay, Tulsidas compositions to the Ramacharita Manas. So written in Awadhi, in a language used in Uttar Pradesh. Awadhi, one of the language, Awadhi. So it is one of the important both as an expression of the devotion and literature work. So even Surdas was one of the famous devotee of the Krishna. So his compositions about that Sursagar and Surasaravali and Sahitya Lahari express about the devotion, and contemporary about the Shankardev of Assam. He is also be devotee of the Vishnu and composed poems and plays in Assami. And another things about that Namgar or house of the recitations of the prayer. So that is also be practiced in during this prayer. So he started everything there. Okay. So the tradition of the including the saints like Dhadu Dayal, Ravidas and Mirabai. So these are all very important things. Mirabai was a Rajput princess. Okay, a Rajput family, dynasty. So married into the royal family of Mewar in the 16th century. Mirabai became a disciple of Ravidas and saint from the caste considered untouchability. So she was devotee of Krishna and composed in immemorable bhajans. So express her intents about this one. Her songs also openly challenge to the norms of the upper caste. So became the powerful and in the Rajasthan and Gujarat. The unique feature of the most saints, that is a work of this, compositions of the religious language and could be sung. They became immensely popular about this one by generations to generation. So that usually the song whichever they are they sung, and they have become part of our living popular culture. So majorly that Mirabai and Major Tulsidas, Surdas, those are all about they were worshipped to the god Vishnu. Okay, and then in the different names about this one. So dear children, so by this I am going to end this video. In the next video we are going to be discuss about that the closure look about this Kabir and the Guru Nanak. Okay, so refer the textbook for the more details. Okay, thank you children, have a great day.